Oh yeah, today we're going to make a nice and easy cauliflower and stilton soup. There's a lot of ways of doing this, roux based, velouté, all these different ways, but look, we're going to make a really simple version. You can either thicken it with a couple of potatoes, or like I'm doing today, I'm going to use a bit of porridge oats. Really simple way of thickening something. If you've not got a problem with grains and that, go for it. So first of all, we've got 50 grams of butter. I'm just going to fry a couple of roughly chopped onion and 4 cloves of garlic in there, and we're going to cook that out until it's lost all its nasty raw smell and it's softened up. Okay, they've softened up now, so I'm going to put in a piece of fresh rosemary from the garden and a couple of fresh bay leaves. Look, you can use thyme if you'd rather, but I always think that stilton really likes the flavour of cauliflower, so I'll put that in. We will take the bay leaves and the stick from the rosemary out before we liquidise it. So into there now we're going to put a cauliflower, which just chopped up, the root's still on it, there's no need to cut that off. So that's the whole cauliflower, and then a couple of sticks of celery. And then we're going to pop the lid on and we're going to sweat that out for about 5 minutes or so. Okay, that's been cooking out for a couple of minutes. So I'm going to put in 3 chicken stock cubes. You could use vegetable stock if you'd rather. It's not an issue. Back in the restaurant days we'd now add some white wine, but we're not going to do that. So I'm just going to throw in a couple of pints of water. Along with my porridge oats. So that's a quarter of a cup. If you want it thicker, add more. If you want it thinner, add less. Also, you don't have to do that. If you just drop a peeled potato in there, it will thicken it, but it will have a slightly grainy texture. This will give you a nice sort of creamier texture. So one more thing we're going to add, this again is, you don't necessarily have to add it. I'm putting a quarter of a cup of dried milk powder. I use the Nido because it's quite creamy. But there you go. Again, as I say, that's optional. If you've got dairy, well, you wouldn't be cooking stilton soup if you had dairy, would you? But there you go. So we're going to bring that to the boil. When it boils, we'll turn it down and simmer it until the cauliflower is mega soft. Okay, the cauliflower is really soft now. Everything's ready to move on to the next stage. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to take out the stick and the bay leaves, and then we'll move on. Okay, that's them out. So I'm turning off the soup. Once the cheese is in, you don't really want to be boiling it. You can warm it gently, but don't boil it, because funny things happen to the cheese. So I'm going to pop in about 150 grams of stilton, rind and everything. Throw it all in. Now, how much you add is up to you, how cheesy you want it. You know, you could add 200 grams, give you a really cheesy one, or less. To be honest, if you didn't have any cheese to it, it's a really nice soup as it stands, just the cauliflower. Anyway, so I'm just going to gently move that around, wait a couple of minutes, and then I've got to hit it with a stick blender. Okay, because of the stilton and because of the stock cubes in it, I'm not adding any salt at this time. Maybe we'll need it, but I don't think so. But I am putting in a really good hit of freshly ground pepper. I like pepper a lot, but that's up to you whether you do it or not. Okay, so now we're just going to put the stick blender in and give it a really good blend. Okay, we're going to serve it up now. As you can see, it's a rich, creamy, beautifully textured soup. The porridge oats just give it such a lovely texture without adding too much extra fat and that. So we're just going to pop it in a mug and then just float a little bit of crumbled Stilton on top. Honestly, I don't often rant about my own food, but this is such a good soup. Do give it a try.